What is up, guys? Welcome back to Monday Trends. The past couple of weeks, I mean, I'm in the office. You're not in the office.
I know, we keep missing each other.
It's been bananas, to say the least.
Yep.
But nonetheless, we are here today, so happy Monday. There's a bunch that is going on in the world of marketing and just business trends in general. So I will let Megan kick off first.
Okay. Well, we have some news about Google. If you have a Google domain hooked up to your website, you might want to look into the costs or look into switching providers. Google is selling their domains as a part of cost-cutting efforts. So they're actually selling to Squarespace. So some things that you want to look into is the same. Are you getting the same service? Is it going to be the same cost? There's rumors that costs are actually going to go up if you have a Google domain right now, and it is being switched over to Squarespace. So consider all of your options and make sure that you don't have a domain that goes down or is not being able to be used.
Do we know the background on why they're doing that? I'm curious.
They're just looking to save some money. Apparently. I don't know. I guess it's
Google's looking to save money?
Google's looking to save money. Yeah. Google's looking to cut costs right now.
Google's looking? What do you mean?
Yep. So, which is really interesting. I think everyone's looking to find ways where they can cut costs, but this is one of the ways that Google is doing that. So I'm sure there's, a team behind that and the services behind providing different Google domains. So they're looking to just sell it off to Squarespace.
So all my small business owners out there that are like looking to cut costs in certain ways, Google's doing it too.
Google's doing it too.
So it's not just
you.
We're gonna zigzag pattern here.
Okay.
Speaking of Google, one of the things that we keep seeing time and time again, but right now is definitely no joke with Google, is that they're hardcore right now fighting like their ad policy violations.
Yeah.
And they're not playing any games. And obviously we've seen that in our ad accounts with our clients and stuff. And they're literally nitpicking everything right now. So like a couple top highlights that we're seeing. Number one, just as a little like report of it. So like as an example, last year Google suspended over 6.7 million advertiser accounts, due to policy violations.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about that, this is the interesting part, right? Because realistically, when Google like stops somebody for like, violating a policy, they're stopping themselves from making money.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is interesting, obviously. So like you're governing a law where technically like you're stopping yourself from making money. But I guess when you're doing as well as they're doing, I guess you don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But having that said, they're committed. Their goal right now, obviously, in the climate and the environment that the economy is in, culturally as well as obviously just from a bunch of different standpoints, their thing right now is they want to make sure that advertisers and searchers know that Google's a safe place to advertise on or search on. So obviously, at the end of the day, like business owners like us, are like, oh, come on, like we don't want to have to deal with this because a lot of times they make you jump through all these different types of hoops, and so you're jumping through these hoops. And, it's like you just want to advertise your business, right? So, and there are certain things like right now, again, like things are getting flagged on websites that like a normal small business owner like wouldn't know what to do,
right?
Like, if you were doing it yourself. So
absolutely.
There's a lot of things that make it more complicated that are, small business communities like, damn, like, I just want to advertise my business, but it's making it more complicated. If you need help there, we got your back. If you get your ad violation policy up. But, one of the things that they're doing is, they are like building a massive team around this. So like right now, a lot of it's AI driven. So like if you get disapproved, like there's not actually people doing it. It's all, AI. But, they're building a team to make sure that everything is up to like, up to snuff and it's textbook when it comes to violating policy. So I know anybody who's watching this, if you've been in the CBD game, the cannabis game, or even in real estate, like, they're just like, they're cracking down so much. And that's not just Google, but, specifically in this matter, Google, they're cracking down so much right now that they are not playing any games with anybody because they want everybody to feel like it's a safe environment. And over the past couple of years, like people have done things like, put up advertising for things like, sites that are not the best sites, we'll say, to say the least, and that doesn't have to be cannabis related. It could be, other industries that are not good, that can in some way harm children or do whatever. So they're cracking down hardcore all across the board. But again, 6.7 million people got flagged last year.
Yeah, and I think there's probably going to be more this year.
Oh,
I mean, even just the redirects. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, something that we're seeing is that if you choose a different domain for marketing purposes for your landing page and it redirects to your actual domain, you're going to get flagged on Google as well. So make sure that you're reading up on those policies. And if you are stuck, reach out to us. We're always happy to help. But it is a sticky situation.
Yeah, yeah, and listen, it's frustrating. Listen, I'll be the first one to admit, like, as an agency and as people who work with small businesses, sometimes you got to get creative and figure out ways around it. But like, that's what they're trying to stop right now. So like, their goal is to make sure that at the end of the day, that they're protecting their searchers from advertisers who have malicious intents. So we have to respect it, and it's almost like I'll never forget this. I missed a train one time, right? And I don't take public transport, but the one time I took the train and I missed it, right? I'm sitting there, and it was me and this one guy running to the train, right? And we both missed it. And he sat there, and he was an older gentleman. He goes, he's like, the freaking train, because the train left. Like we still thought we had like a minute or two left, because like it said it was gonna like leave at like I think it was like 9 o'clock or something, and it was like 8 something. It was like probably just turned 9, and it was gone.
Oh.
And it was like going as we rolled up. And anyway, so he's like, but what are you gonna do? Like, you can't do anything. It's the train, right? Like it's just
True.
like you can't do anything. That's Google for businesses.
Yeah.
It's like, if a train comes late, and it screws up your schedule, it doesn't matter. It's the train. Like, there's nothing you could do. It's like a public transport, like you're just stuck. Sorry. With Google, it's the same thing for businesses, that like when they make these changes, even Meta, major advertising platforms that millions and billions of people are on, like they're not gonna, like, they don't care. And that's the one thing too. And I know Megan always knows when I ramble. She does a John's rambling face. But the one thing though that I always think about though when it comes to like these social platforms is, like, as businesses, it's crazy how much we rely on them now.
Yeah.
To get our messages out there, to like talk about what we do and to gain new customers. But we find ourselves in a position where they can change anything
At any
and
point in time.
we just have to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended, or actually no pun intended.
Pun intended.
But at the end of the day, it's like just understanding these rules, guys, and it's going to be a big deal. And as Megan said, I can guarantee. So 6.7 million was last year. I think it's going to be doubled this year.
It might be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be doubled based on, because we've had our little hurdles and challenges of new things that are coming up for us. So you said the redirects and
Absolutely.
websites for Google. So just keep an eye out for it, guys. Again, if you have a website or if you're advertising on Google or Google partner platforms, just keep in mind that violations and policy is going to keep happening. So get your knowledge in for it, understand it, learn it, because if you don't and you don't have a partner like us, or if you're not working with an agency and you're doing it yourself, it can hurt you and it will stop your ads from running. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Ready for the next trend?
Ready.
Okay. So this one I actually saw in use over the weekend. So I have a friend who took a video over here on the Jersey Shore, and somebody ended up taking his video, posting it on different platforms, and it went viral, but they're not giving him credit for it. And we're seeing this happen more and more, especially now. Instagram is testing the ability where users can download publicly posted real content and repost it to whatever platforms that they're looking to distribute it to.
Right.
So as a social media profile, you do have the option to disable downloads of your content if you don't want that to happen. Or if you are looking to enable somebody to download your content, try to watermark it in some way just to get the credit that it all leads back to you. There are so many videos that we see on social media that go viral, and we don't know where the source is, especially YouTube. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's taking everybody else's content and they're just putting it on their channels now.
Yep.
But Google allows you to do that, though, actually. Like, Google owns YouTube, but YouTube allows you to do it, because when I was going through some YouTube stuff the other day, and I was looking through it with the media team, there was a checkbox where you have the ability to allow other creators to grab your content and recycle it.
Yep. You just want to make sure that it's watermarked, right? I mean, if you can say that you shot that content, but it's really coming from me, it could hurt me monetarily if I'm profiting from that video.
Well, or even additionally, it's like that person who shot that video, it's like, okay, they went there, they got a cool clip, and now somebody else made it go viral. So it's like nobody knows that person didn't shoot that video.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So you just want to make sure that it's watermarked, branded, protect your content.
Yeah. And the one thing I do want to say though on that is, I'll be the first person, right? I'm going to be 100% honest, right? When you're using things like CapCut or some of these platforms that have a freemium version, like, and have the watermark in the bottom lower thirds, I always crop that shit out. Like, I don't want nobody seeing that I'm using another platform. So if you're going to watermark stuff, right, make sure you do it like with a nice transparency and put it like in a prominent spot that if they couldn't post a video if they didn't have it there, right? So like that's the one thing I would just say, because realistically, if you put it at the bottom right-hand corners or like the top right-hand corners to keep the integrity of the shot really nice still and the edit nice still, you have the potential to happen, with what happened to Megan's friend.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely.
But okay, so are you good there?
I'm good.
Alrighty. Next up, again, this is a topic I've been talking about now, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. But it's how Gen Z are using social media. Again, Gen Z right now make up the biggest buyer in the market, right? They have the biggest spending power out of all of the different generations currently, especially in the United States. And so we always want to keep understanding like how we can speak to them better, how we can understand it. The one thing, so if you don't know what Gen Z is, it's if you were born before or between, but 1997 through 2012.
I wasn't born in 1997.
So anyway, what's it called? But anyway, so they're the first generation. So Gen Z is the first generation to grow up fully with the internet all around them, right? So like, it's like, us, like, the millennial generation, like literally like we were born and we had like Windows 95 is the first time I remember engaging with like a computer and like having it around all the time and then getting a cell phone eventually. Like they're the first one. It's so crazy to think about that, but they're the first one in history to grow up with technology all around them, which is crazy. Absolutely bananas to think about. But having that said, here's a couple tips that we got that we were going to pull out for when you're working or like if you're in a sector where Gen Z is, which is again, pretty much almost in everyone now, there's a couple things that you should be doing. One is going to be embracing partnerships with creators. Like Gen Z really cares about user-generated content. They want to see things that their friends, because they grew up with it. They know like the day and age where even like going back like, 6 years ago or 5 years ago where we would use stock content on social media, like, and nobody cared. Like they were fine. Like, okay, this looks great. That's all that matters. Like for the Gen Z generation, like they like stock photography or stock videos will never be able to win because they grew up with like seeing everything, right? Like, like my godson, like Julian as an example, like, there's so many kids, but like they know how to like swipe when they're babies and they're looking at iPads, they're looking at all these things. So, at the end of the day, embracing partnerships with creators help because when they see other people that they feel like they trust on your content, whether it's, somebody that's like them, like again, user-generated content or, creators or brands that like they like those brands, those types of collaborations really help go a long way. So think about that in your strategy. The second is giving your brand a persona, right? They don't just want to engage with, Nike because it's a logo and it's cool. They want to, that's why they like Nike has, again, over the years, have done some crazy revolutionary marketing with their brands, but like they've put all of the athletes at the center of the brands. So like that's a key example. Like you see LeBron James got like a $1 billion lifetime deal with Nike, right? That's insane. So did I'm pretty sure. Oh my goodness, what's his name?
Did you say 1 billion?
1 billion. Yeah.
With a B?
With a B. You got a $1 billion lifetime,
That's
and it's like
wild.
It's some rare name. I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's a $1 billion lifetime. Oh, Ronaldo too. Cristiano Ronaldo also got that too. Pretty sure the only 2 people in history that have that. I could be wrong though. But anyway, with that said, they put the people and their like vibe in front of Nike and they make that Nike. So like with your brands, like that's what we have to be doing here, people. Like we have to be focusing on how we can make your brand have a persona, have a personality, have fun, have some serious but educational as well to make the Gen Z, generation want to engage with your content. Fourth, and this is one that like I think we've started to see with millennials, but definitely with Gen Z over the past few years, is focusing on engagement over followership, right? So one of the things that we saw, I would say for the past like 6-7 years is like you would see somebody who like doesn't really know marketing, like pop open an Instagram, make an account, and then like go, again, I'm saying a couple years back, they'd go buy like 10 or 100,000 followers, right?
Right.
And it was like, okay, boom, they have all these followers, like, and it meant something. It's like, wow, look at all these followers. People care about these brands. And then we started getting smarter. We're like, wait a second, you have 100,000 followers and only one person liked your post.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong here. And so, but with Gen Z, they don't care about how many followers you have. They care about how many people are engaging, right? Like how many people are commenting, making meaningful, remarks or statements or engaging with you. And that's what they're looking at. Like, what are people saying in the feed? And that's the thing I think is so interesting because I've never been like that. Like, I'm not somebody like my brother Brandon, like loves Reddit. And I'm not a big Reddit guy, but like he just goes through it and he's looking through like the forums, like
Right, to see
that's
what
they
real
do.
people are saying.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that a lot more too, going to the
Really?
comments section to see, like, if I see a video that I'm not sure if what I'm looking at is real, or maybe I'm just not sure what I'm looking at, the comments section, there's so much dialogue happening there. So I
which
see
is so crazy.
and it's like Reddit, where people are having normal conversations. Yeah.
But I'm starting to I'm starting to agree with that though, because I do find myself looking at that stuff now. But I think it's what we say, it's okay, it's Gen Z, but I feel like it's a natural progression
Absolutely.
with everybody in technology. Like I want to see what people are saying in the comments. But anyway, so focusing not on just, oh, I want all these followers. They care about your engagement with your followers and their engagement with you. And then lastly is using trends to your advantage, right? And I think when everybody saw things like, one of the biggest things I think went viral was like the ice bucket challenge. I remember that like being like massive one, almost like 8 or 9 years ago when it first started coming out. But Gen Z, they love that stuff. So like when you see trends that are happening, right? Like I remember like the Drake Kiki dance thing, right? Like people jumping out of their cars and the car's still moving and stuff. Like I'm not saying to do that, by the way. I'm gonna say that again, so legal does not jump on me. But at the end of the day, it's really important that you utilize those trends to your advantage to make you fun. I see so many doctors' offices doing things like this, like dentist office, like having fun with all the people that are working there, like the nurses and stuff, and making it engaging and making it fun. So, again, in summary here, Gen Z, they're utilizing social media, to see what their friends are doing, to learn things before they buy products. And also they look at it to see, like when they're bored, they're in Reddit, they're in these different things looking at comments. So it's not just about the growth anymore of your follower base. It's about what your engagement is with your follower base. So again, keeping in mind, you're going to keep hearing us say Gen Z for a while.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to keep happening. So, this is not the first and it's not the last.
Yeah, I think it's also about being relatable too. Like they're looking for relatable comments, relatable content. They want to know that your brand, you're a real person behind it. They don't want
100%.
A stuffy brand to interact with. So, yeah.
Rob, would you consider Megan's like personal channel stuffy?
Thank you.
I winked.
Like, don't even post.
By the way, time out. Rob, somebody get Rob a towel. Is these guys sweating right now? Bullets.
It's not even under the
He's not even the lamps
like
right now. Bullets are sweating.
Hot under the
Dude,
lights.
it's we got to get Rob better gear though for the summer now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine him on an outdoor shoot today?
No, it's hot out today.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
Pressure.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, if you've ever seen Keen and Peele when Keen is sweating bullets on gifts everywhere, that is my guy Rob in any setting.
That is the most accurate.
Isn't it? But we love him though. Listen, we love him. He's a sweater. He's a sweater.
That's funny.
All right, what you got?
All right, one last trend on my end, and it's that YouTube is launching the first stage of A/B testing thumbnails on YouTube, which is pretty awesome because right now you can just choose one thumbnail, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and you have to kind of wait to figure that out if your videos are getting views or not, if it's getting engagement or not. So now they're introducing the ability to A/B test up to 3 different thumbnails that they will continue to swap out until they find one that is getting the most engagement, and then it'll just stick with that thumbnail. So it's going to help your YouTube channel get more engagement, more views, and it's going to help your videos go viral, hopefully, as well.
Viral. And the one thing that I just want everyone to like understand on that topic is, number one, like what's so cool in a way is that these platforms, they want you to succeed. It's not like it used to be. Like I feel like with Google, it's not that Google doesn't want you to succeed on like organically, but they want to make it so competitive and so like mystical because like nobody knows the actual algorithm, right?
Right.
Like, I don't even know if Google knows the algorithm. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think anybody knows the algorithm. I think it's just a big question mark. But anyway, the point though is that with these channels like YouTube, the good part about channels like YouTube and like TikTok as an example is like they have an interest in your benefit because if people love your content and they stay watching it, they're going to have more ad revenue. So like that's why they're offering things like this because they want to keep having your content drive more wins so people stay and they don't leave, and ultimately they make more ad revenue, right? And again, they share some of that a very, very small percentage of ad revenue with its creators, but ultimately they want you to win. So like for the people out there that are watching this right now, right? I don't care where you are, what you're doing, and what your ideology is around like creating content. Like, guys, we are in a world now where if you are not creating content for your business, for your brand, for whatever you're doing, you are absolutely bananas. And you're burying your head so deep into the sand that it's crazy. Because at the end of the day, again, we just went over Gen Z has the biggest buying power in America at the moment. And when you think about what they look at as validating credibility, we find ourselves in a position with one thing, right? And that one thing is that they want to see more video and they want to see more content. So when you're not creating content and you're just sitting there and these platforms are rewarding you for creating content, they're helping you, they're giving you thumbnail things and they're doing things to help you give you other, ways to succeed online. It's a big, big difference. Are we good over there? What's going on? You good? Okay. So with that said, at the end of the day, if you're not creating content, you need to be piggybacking off what Megan said there. And before we end off here, I'm gonna beat the drum again of YouTube Shorts is just dominating right now. So if you do have content and you have short form of that content that you've taken, you can clip it yourself, whatever. YouTube Shorts is absolutely killing it still to this day. So if you create content, you should be posting on YouTube, and you should also be utilizing YouTube Shorts absolutely
definitely
every day. So all right, so I think that's our conclusion right now. But the only thing I gotta say though, did you guys hear this whole thing about Zuckerberg wanted to fight Elon Musk? I'm getting amped about this.
That.
I'm getting amped about
I
this.
just recently heard that. Is that real? I thought that was fake.
No, that's like legit.
The UFC fight, right?
But the one thing I do want to say, yeah, like in the cage, like UFC style.
No way.
So apparently Elon Musk said something, or he said he would do it, and then Zuckerberg like jumped.
Who started it? Elon started it?
I don't know who started it. Do you know who started it?
No, but Zuck is doing jiu-jitsu and stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
To prepare for it?
No. He's been. So that's why when I think Musk called him out because I saw reportedly, or like the news now.
Yeah.
Reportedly, I saw that essentially Elon was like, oh, like I would. I think one of the users or like one of the followers on Twitter said something, and he was like, oh, I would totally go in the cage with Zuckerberg. But like low key though, Zuckerberg is I think a black belt or some crazy shit in jiu-jitsu.
Oh my gosh.
Which again, if you're a bazillionaire, like you probably should know how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
God forbid. So anyway, so he saw it and jumped right to it, like, oh, I'll do this, no problem. Like, let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
So apparently, and Dana White went on record, reportedly, saying that like they're both dead serious about this. So
that would be the fight of a lifetime.
No, it would be the funniest thing ever, right? But putting the funniest thing ever aside for a second, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Elon Musk and Zuckerberg saying that they would fight. They want to do a cage match, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think it would break the internet, to be honest with you. But also, I'd be so conflicted. Being somebody who's obsessed with Tesla and somebody who literally for like almost like the majority of Adapting Social, like Facebook is a big part of our business.
Right.
So it's like, do I go with Zucks? Do I go with Musk? I don't know. Who would you go for?
Musk. It's gotta be Musk.
I know, like
Musk has changed. Musk is bringing us to Mars.
Musk, but then I'm thinking if Zuckerberg has been doing jiu-jitsu for so long.
Well, no, not who you think would win. Who do you want to win?
Oh, Elon
Better
Musk.
question.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like Zuck.
Yeah, me neither.
You know what? I like Zuck.
Do you?
I do.
I feel like
But I like him only because everyone hates him.
That's a good reason.
Underdog
honestly.
vibes. Underdog
That's a good
vibes.
reason.
But I know I have a feeling because you guys ever see the video or the picture of Elon Musk on a mega yacht looking pale as all hell
No.
and looking like he's got like
I need to
17
Google
chins.
this right now.
Pop it up. Elon
Yeah,
Musk
on
on a
a
mega yacht.
On a mega yacht.
Let's see this
On a Megan yacht.
on a mega yacht.
Not as
Go to
bad as
images, let's
that
see.
Zuck on a paddleboard.
That was it.
Which
That
this
one.
one?
Boom. That's not looking good.
No.
Do a turnaround so we can show like the live audience. Look, so this is what we're looking at here. I don't know if you can see
I
it on
don't
the
know if
screen
I
or
can
not.
see it. No. Make it
Um,
bigger. I don't know if I can make it bigger.
Do a little zoom in. Either way, no, can't make it bigger.
Look up Zuckerberg on a paddleboard.
But see, that's the difference.
That's almost something.
Oh, yeah. But regardless, so anyway, so that's a thing right now. It's not relevant to business, but
That was me on the beach last week.
so Rob told us to look up Zuckerberg on the paddleboard with
Oh my
his. Why is his legs
God.
not done though? Why are you gonna load the face up but no legs? Oh, let me see if you can
That's
zoom like this.
unreal.
Let's do a zoom job here. Where's the plus button? We're going. Oh yeah, cameras. Here you go. I can't see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Google Zuckerberg on a surfboard, and you'll see
We need to
this
figure
guy.
out how to insert photos.
Yes, this guy does not mess around whatsoever when it comes to sunblock. I've never seen
He must
anything
not
like
have a single wrinkle on his face.
it. I've never seen anything like it. Wow, that literally just changed the game. Like when I start giving Johnny sunblock, I'm loading him Zuck style.
Oh
That's
my
the new
God, Zuck style.
I'm gonna literally. So we should start a sunblock company called Zuck Style, and it's just like it's zinc, so like it doesn't rub in whatsoever, and you're just pale as all hell. Oh my goodness! All right, that just made my whole day. Rob, thank you
Yeah.
for
That
sharing
was
there.
good.
But all right, guys. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Monday. We hope you create a productive week ahead. These are some of the trends that are happening right now. I was even thinking about Rise and Grind. Maybe that's the new title. I don't know. Rise and Grind with Megan and John. Here we go.
Oh, I like that.
A little Rise and Grind. But in recap, so if you're just tuning into this right now, Megan, run through your just bullet points of what your topics were so people know what to go back to.
Yeah, so the first one was Google is selling Google domains as part of ongoing cost-cutting efforts. Then we talked about how Instagram is allowing users to download publicly posted real content. And YouTube is launching the first stage of A/B testing thumbnails.
Awesome. And then on our side, we have Google's fight against ad policy violations. And then how Gen Zs are utilizing social media and 4 tips that you need to be doing to speak to the United States and probably more than the United States, but the US's biggest spender and the biggest buying power, which is Gen Z. So guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate your time, your attention. If you care and love a small business owner or somebody who's building a brand, share this with them. Again, on YouTube, you can subscribe to get these as well. And guys, create a great Monday. You are in charge of it, so make it happen, guys. Have a good week.